I never dreamed that this day would come forth as it has come.
An incredible day in Columbia this afternoon, righting a wrong in history. A moment in Columbia today as Richland County judge signed an order that exonerates and erases the criminal records of 7 men who staged sit-in protests 64 years ago. Their simple act of sitting down, paving the way to desegregation.
Our Nick Neville live on the story for us. Nick, obviously a very powerful ceremony to say the least. Judy, you were there as well.
Absolutely.
To attest to it.
Right, incredible. And so Solicitor Byron Gibson handed those expungement papers to the judge and said that the simple act of these 7 men really changed the course of history for the entire country. He says this is a reminder that we stand on the shoulders of giants, these men paving the way so that he can stand in courtrooms like the one he was standing in on Main Street.
As peaceful protests against racial discrimination found their way to Columbia in the 1960s, 20-year-old Simon Bowie's grandmother gave him a warning.
She was very, very, very fearful about this. And I had promised I will not do this. I'm going to school as you have asked me to do, and I'm going to be all right. No sooner than I said that, I found myself leading the protest.
Fast forward to today, Bowie, now 85, along with 6 others, had their criminal records expunged, less than half a mile from where they staged sit-in protests.
So many that gave us inspiration and told us to hold on, that there'll be a brighter day tomorrow. And I'm so glad I held on.
This video shows Bowie as he's being led out of Eckerd's drugstore on Main Street. The Benedict and Allen University students had sat in an all-white lunch counter, demanding to be served and seeking their basic constitutional rights.
They had no idea what they were getting into. They were just going to seek a meal at a lunch counter, not knowing they were walking right into history.
They were arrested, and their cases made it all the way up to the Supreme Court, where they prevailed. Their convictions overturned, but their records still not cleared until Friday afternoon.
The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And so for 60 years, they've been bending this thing, and now justice is finally fully been done.
5 of the men honored posthumously with roses in the courtroom. Bowie and Charles Barr say they hope their demonstrations inspire future generations to fight for what's right.
They'll examine it and move peacefully, and so that you can sit down and compromise and do things peacefully.
Both Bowie and Barr vividly describing the moments leading up to their peaceful demonstrations, recounting what happened to them. These arrests created struggles, Bowie said. For example, he never got to join the Army as he had dreamed. This vindication today making him proud of his city and his country. Live in the studio, Nick Neville, WIS News 10.
Absolutely incredible, Nick. Thank you so much. We also want to share that the Supreme Court threw out the convictions of these 7 men just days before the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was signed into law. Many believe their civil disobedience in these cases ultimately played a role in the bill's passage. And today, Dr. Donaldson says so many people know about what happened in Selma and Montgomery, but there's a lot of history right here in Columbia as well.